Skeletations, my new ghoul friends. I'm Niomi Dylan Sass, resident podcaster here at UIC Radio, and I'm taking you along with me to visit something grave today. This is where hauntings feel like hellos. Welcome to season 2 of a podcast for everything in the horror genre, from movies to mythologies and mysteries. This is She's in the Crypt. Along with us on this week's frightful journey, the head mistress of the Crypt is taking a solo trip to talk about Hayley Williams' ego death at a Bachelorette party night 1 in Chicago. On Tuesday, April 22nd, 2026, I got to have one of my dreams come true by seeing an artist that has been playing in my ear since as long as I can remember. This is an experience I will never forget and needed to share with you all. There will be a trigger warning at the beginning of each of my episodes, just in case today's dark discussion isn't your preferred potion. Today, I will be talking about drugs and alcohol being improperly and overconsumed. Cool. I get it if you can't listen to that right now. Just leave us a like on your way out and be sure to tune in next week for a different dark discussion. After this quick break, I'll be back to do some grave digging into concert tips and tricks, how to enjoy standing in line, the powers of manifestation, her set list, finding the perfect spot to stand, and all of the best moments that occurred on that magical night at the Aragon Ballroom that I won't ever forget. I'll be rolling in my grave with excitement while you listen to this quick message from beyond. Alright, there is no need to try to do a new spell. I got this one unlocked today, y'all. Let's get right into it, okay? This is She Summoning. Okay, yeah, it's just me. Hi, hello, how are you? Shabbat shalom. So, before we get into the episode, ease us into it a little bit. I just want to talk about some stuff that's on my mind, and it's probably going to be on everyone else's mind right now. Finals. Oh my goodness. So last semester I got super lucky. So you know how we all have that last week of school and then there's still one more week, which is finals week. Last semester I was super lucky and all of my finals kind of happened on that last week. So I got an extra week off early, but that is not the case this semester. But another but, and a big but. I get to do finals. These finals this semester are going to be so cool. They're open invitation. So if anybody wants to come to them, one of the finals I'm doing is the checkoff class. We're doing a whole final of all of the scenes we've been working on throughout the whole entire semester. It's a total of 11 scenes. I'm stage managing our class run because we have set changes and all that, lights and all that. It's not extravagant, but enough to where we need a stage manager, and it's good to get my foot back in the door with stage managing again. I haven't done it in a few years, even though I used to do it all the time back in my old alma mater. Shout out MSJC. So that one is Monday, May. Let me see. I hate not knowing the calendar. That one's gonna be Monday, May 4th, I think at 1 p.m. And that's the only one that I know the time at. But also, I'm very, most proud of the work I've done in that one. I'm doing 3 scenes. One scene is they're all obviously from Chekhov. I play Olga from Three Sisters. I play Anna from Ivanov. And I play Elena from Uncle Vanya. And all 3 of those roles, Anna, she is someone who's dying of tuberculosis, and her husband's a big old cheater. And she is at the scene I'm doing, I get into a giant argument, which basically kills me at the end. That one was super taxing mentally, but it's also I've never felt more proud of the progress I've done performing, because like I was just looking at my notes that I got from the very first time I performed that scene. It was literally almost like 3 full pages of like stuff that, I can work on and make the scene better. The last time we just did the scene, it was maybe like 3 little things to work on. And I'm like, that's growth. I love when I can see personal growth, and that's just so cool. So I'm really, really proud of that scene. And then the other one I'm doing, Elena, me and my scene partner, Arena, shout out Arena. We just have really good like on-stage chemistry and stuff, and off-stage chemistry. She's super cool, super fun, super funny. But like our scene together, we just almost immediately had this like good instant connection with our characters and with our relationship together as our characters and outside of our characters, which really made that scene so fun to do. And you can see it in the performance. Like it's just always like a breath of fresh air doing that scene. And then the other scene, Olga, that one is probably like, I think if I had to relate with a character the most, I relate with Olga the most, because she is like, even though like she's the oldest in her family, but I'm the youngest in my family, but I've always been like mentally the oldest in my family. I feel like so that's kind of why I have that connection with her. But yeah, I'm super excited for all of those scenes. I'm super proud to show them. I hope anybody who's free that day could come and see them. It would be really, really cool. I'm doing a final for a class called Beckett, Pinter, and Brecht. It is a class that is catered to absurdism theater, and that class has been super fun to take all semester, because that has really helped me get in tune with my body as an actor, which has been super, super helpful, I feel like, in presenting scenes. Like the last scene I just did was from a play called Mr. Pintella and His Man Maddie, and I played Mr. Pintella in the scene. It's like towards the end of the scene. It's literally written in the scene for us to build a mountain out of chairs and to climb it. So I was like, that sounds unsafe, but I'm down. So instead of that, we have this big giant spiral staircase that leads to a second level inside of one of our black boxes. So I was like, okay, let's use like our rehearsal blocks and kind of make this little step onto the staircase, and let's just climb the side of the staircase instead. And like that whole scene, I was really nervous to do that scene. I'm not even gonna lie, like I was super nervous to do that scene out of almost any scene I've done this whole entire semester in all of my classes. But like that was one of those scenes where I feel like I literally blacked out and like kind of just released myself to the character, and like I remember some moments, but for the most part, like I just remember by the time I was at the end, I was like drenched in sweat, holding on to my scene partner, Mahita, shout out Mahita. And we were just like rocking along together with the song that was implemented in the script. And then like, yeah, it ended and I was like, whoa, what just happened? And then like, she looked at me, she was like, bro, you were carrying. And then like 3 other people in the class, they were like, what the fuck was that? That was crazy. I don't even think like everything, I don't know. I think it was cool. I'm excited to go ask other people. I love like hearing notes, but I always feel like not self-deprecating, but like I always feel like sometimes if someone's like, "Oh, you did so good," like they might be like lying. But I say, that's why I got to go ask the people who I know are down to be truthful. But I was really proud of the work of that scene. But my scene partners now for this next one, we're gonna do Sean and Ray, shout out. We're doing that for our final for the absurd class, and we're doing like a devised piece, so we're kind of creating this whole scenario just from this small script, and we're gonna create this whole. It's really cool. The stuff we already have like planned for it. I don't even want to give away details for that, but I will get the dates for that and I will put that in the bio for this because that's going to be super fun, like to see. I'm super excited to work with these 2 people too. I got to work with them like a little bit during Dance Nation, but I was an understudy, so it wasn't like too much. But I'm very excited to work with these 2 individuals and make this piece because it's already going to be super like in my realm too, like it's creepy, mystical, dreamy, but in a nightmarish kind of way. And then stage directing. This class, I am going to do my final next week. instead of the final week, which is cool. But that one I'm directing 2 scenes from the play Mud by Maria Irene Fornes, and yeah, it's gonna be super good. My actors are Jimmy Rogers, Gigi Pengri, and Abigail Facundo. Forgive me if I mispronounced any of those. I don't think I did. But yeah, they're all 3 doing a phenomenal job with my vision, and I just think it's really gonna be solid. And I'm gonna ask with their permission if I can record their performance, so then I could just have it on my backlogs, and maybe I can post it somewhere for you guys to see. All right, so enough of that. I will just give you guys some final advice for before heading into finals. If you're doing performance stuff, I could really only speak to performance people. Try not to stress about it. I know that's like calling the, try not to stress about it, even though that's easier said than done. But overall, go in there and just try to have fun. I think that's when the professors see that you've done the work and you are having fun now with the given circumstances of the said scenario, then that's when they're gonna really see you thrive and excel. So any performance majors, just try to channel that anxiety and stress into like, okay, let's have fun. Let's get rid of this anxiety and energy by just releasing yourself and having no fear of judgment, because that's basically what it is at the end of the day. Yeah, we're getting graded on it, but I feel like the more you're less scared about the outcome of your grade, then the better it's going to be. Anyway, so we're going to get into the next segment, you guys. You ready? This is Dark Discussions. So let me just switch out my outline right here. Ego death at a bachelorette party. Ah! Oh my god. You guys, I'm literally about to start crying right now. But this was when I say I have never experienced something so magical in my life, I have never experienced something so magical in my life. I'm just gonna start with like the beginning kind of my journey of the day. Not my day, but like the day, because my day was a long day that day. That day was the day I did the final for the Pentilla. Oh, it was so crazy. Yeah. So by the time I was driving there, so her part of the concert started at 7:30, and I believe doors opened at 6, and like the first band went on at 6:30. So I finally got to around the venue, I want to say like at 6. That's when I was like driving. That's when I finally started. That's when I was like 5 minutes away. I think I started driving around the area of where the Aragon Ballroom is, and it was like 6:10, and as I was driving to look for parking, I already see this huge line that is almost 5 blocks away from the entrance, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna take forever. And I was not trying to pay a bunch on parking because I just went to a baseball game with my mom, and it was $40 for parking. Like, that was crazy. But I was looking online, and I saw that there was like this, it was kind of a scary lot, not gonna lie. At night, at least. During the day when I parked, I was like, oh, this is fine. But as soon as I parked, I was like, oh, this is gonna be scary when I get back. But it was only $6 for 12 hours. And I was like, at that rate, that is fine. So I found this lot that was probably like half a mile away from the venue, but in the opposite direction of the line, which was like the kind of like bad thing about it. Whatever. It was fine. So once I parked my car, I finally walk to where the line starts, and I'm like, oh god. I kind of see that the line is moving quickly, so I was like happy about that. And then once I got to the front of the line, before I had to walk to the back of the line, I heard them say like, oh, people with no bags go to the left, people with bags go to the right. And lucky for me, I did not have a bag. I just had my stuff in my pocket, and we were gonna call it a game. So I was like, cool. And I saw that the people with no bags were obviously going in a lot faster. So I got to the back of the line, and as soon as I got to the back of the line, I was like, okay, this is my only chance to like smoke outside. And so like, I, like, looked to the people behind me, and I was like, "Hey, I don't wanna, like, get smoke on you guys because I think that's rude, but also, like, I wanna smoke. Like, is it cool if I just stand, like, outside of the line, but you guys know that this is my spot?" They're like, "Yeah, cool, that's fine." I was like, "All right, bet, thank you." So I was just following my spot in the line the whole time, and that really helped. That really helped expedite the process of waiting in line, in my opinion. But if you need to try to find other ways to wait in line and enjoy the process, my phone was only on 40% too, and I needed it for videos. Oh my god, I got such good videos. Let me not get ahead of myself. But if you guys need like a way to make standing in line fun, literally just start talking to the people next to you. If not, if you are like talking to people next to you, eavesdrop on the people next to you. It's always fun to hear what they're talking about. And if not, if you are with friends, I love to play that game where you like put the little, I think it's called Heads Up. You put the thing on your forehead and you have to guess what the word is. Yeah, that game's always super fun. It makes waiting in line a breeze. So once I got up there, yeah, I walked right in. The people with bags, they were getting thoroughly searched. Not thoroughly, but like their bags were pretty much getting emptied, and then even some of them were getting pat down. I don't know if it's because I look docile, but they looked at me, and there were like people who have stuff in their pockets, just like hold the stuff in your hand, and I was like, okay, cool, bet. So I just had everything in my hand, and I was about to put it down. They're like, no, you're good. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I just walked right in. It was very easy, honestly. They scanned my ticket. They're like, have fun. So once I was inside, I was like, cool. I got inside probably like almost right at 7, I think. So, given the circumstances, parking by like 6:10 and like parking the opposite direction of where the end of the line was and having to walk all of that and then wait in the line, I think the line probably only took like 30 minutes to stand in, and it being like 5 blocks down from the entrance, I was very pleased with that. So, snaps for you for doing that. Thank you so much, because I was like, oh my god, please just let me get in on time to see my girl. The tickets were not cheap. So once I got in line, I was like, cool. I kind of just like scoped out the venue real quick. There was the upstairs and there was the downstairs. There's like the merch table and all that, the concessions line. I know that they said in the email that if the lines looked long downstairs, there's a bunch of bars upstairs that you can go to, and those lines are always a lot shorter, but people don't really realize that there's bars upstairs. But when I went upstairs to go, I don't drink. Y'all know that. I love me a Diet Coke and a Red Bull. But when I went upstairs, there was no like food stuff up there. They just had like the drink bar. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to go downstairs because I wanted some candy, and there was time to kill. So I go downstairs back to the line, and the prices were whatever. They're like movie theater prices, so I wasn't like too shocked. The soda wasn't that bad. The soda was $5. At the movie theater, it would have been like $8 or $9 for the soda. So that's fine. And the pizza wasn't that bad either. The pizza slice was like $7, and it was a pretty big slice. It wasn't that hot, but I was starving, so it was worth it. It tied me down too for the concert. I got the popcorn. The popcorn was the only thing I probably regret getting. It was $10 for the popcorn. I thought it was going to be, I love popcorn personally. I could snack on it down, but like as soon as I like took a couple handfuls, I was like, oh, this is the saltiest popcorn I've ever had in my life. And I was already on the dance floor by that point. So I was like, I'm not gonna like make a fuss and be like, can you give me a different popcorn? It was whatever. I ended up holding the damn thing the whole night because I didn't want to like just drop it on the floor, and I didn't want to like lose my spot to go throw it away in the trash can. But whatever. Yeah, the popcorn was probably like the biggest flop of the night. If you guys were ever thinking about getting a box of popcorn, don't do it. That's my only, don't do it. So the pre-show band was really good. I'm so sorry I did not catch the name of it. But like if y'all look up the concert, that's what I should have did before I started the podcast so I can get the name. Actually, give me 2 seconds. Okay, so journalism here. So the opener for her was Water From Your Eyes. She did amazing. When the last little couple songs that I saw of her, she had really good stage presence. She was super cool. She had sunglasses on the whole time. So yeah, anytime somebody has like sunglasses on stage, it just makes me think like either they're super hungover, or they are just like not really trying to see the audience, because like that helps. And also the lights are really bright. But she did amazing. While during the last like 30 minutes of her set, once I was finally upstairs, it was pretty hot, like in the ballroom. It was also like hot that day, so I don't know if they kind of like leveled out the temperature. Like, I don't know if they preset the air conditioning knowing that the temperature outside was going to be that hot that day. So I don't know if they were able to catch it before all the body heat started coming in there, but it was like pretty hot in there. Low-key, like a lack of oxygen. There was a total, from what I saw, there was 3 people that literally passed out in the crowd, probably for multiple reasons. But having the heat and lack of air was the cherry on top, I would say. One person passed out like right in front of me, and like they kind of immediately like got up, and their friend was like, "Whoa, are you okay?" And they kind of just was like, "Yeah, I think I just need to step out," and they just went and like stepped out of the crowd. And then not only like literally not even 5 minutes later, somebody else, like I don't know, I think it was, I don't want to say it was from the same group, but it was in that same standing point because I didn't move where I was standing. But in the same area, a girl passed out, and this time she kind of like stayed on the ground for a hot minute, and then like everybody was surrounding her, and she like still she looked like she was breathing, but she was out. And then luckily there was like everybody like put their flashlights on, and we were calling for like stage security and stuff. And oh my god, that reminded me about stage security. Let me get there. But yeah, everybody was calling for stage security so we could get like help for you know, the girl who's passed out on the floor. And then luckily, someone who was in the crowd was a nurse, so she went and like she checked on her. She's like, "Okay, cool, she's breathing." She was like holding her head straight and all that, like rubbing her chest, making sure she was all good until the medics came. And then like one of the medics came, and then one of the security guards dude came, and the medic was like, "She needs water. Can you go get her some water?" And then like, what the hell? The medic literally, like, not the medic, the security guard like looked at us, the people. He was like, "Y'all got water? Can we get some water?" And we were like, "Bro, that's your job. We ain't got no water." But yeah, that was funny. I don't think he was ready for that situation. It looked like boys first day on the job. Yeah. But yeah, they picked her up. She gained consciousness again, and the medics like escorted her off the stage, and you know, she was all good in the hood, I believe. Afterwards, I didn't see her after that, but like during that, this is what I want to talk about, like the powers of manifestation. I think manifestation is such a real thing. So like, you can manifest so many good things. You can manifest so many bad things on accident too. And my brain has a habit sometimes of like, I don't know if it's just effing forcing the future or literally just accidentally manifesting some F shit to happen. Manifesting some dumb stuff to happen. So like, there was this tall dude where I was standing, and then before the second girl passed out, I was like, I hope this guy doesn't, he was tall as hell. I was like, I hope this guy does not end up like standing in front of me, because where he was standing was basically right where Hayley Williams would have been standing for a lot of her concert. And I was like, oh my god, please don't let him stay right there forever. And the crowd was already getting like super tight. So once the crowd kind of like filled back in, after they made that giant circle to give that girl some space, guess who stood right in front of me? It was that tall ass dude. And I was like, oh my god, are you serious? So that was probably my bad, because that was like the first thought I saw as soon as I saw this tall dude. Was just like, I hope he doesn't stand in front of me. And guess what? He stood in front of me. So I was like, okay, I gotta find a new spot, because this is I'm not doing this. I paid so much money for the ticket. I mean, everybody did, but like, there's spots in the crowd where I will be able to stand. So I saw these 2 girls. They were already trying to like go into the crowd. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna latch right on. So I stood right behind them, and I was kind of like surfing the crowd with them. And we kind of got right into the middle. And I was like, okay. They kept trying, like the crowd was getting, it was like the front middle of the back, if that makes any sense. It was like the front, I want to say 15 rows. If they were even considered rows. We were in the middle of them in the back. And so they were still trying to get to the front. And the crowd was just too tight for me. And I was like, I'm cool. Where I saw right like next to me, a couple people down, I saw like a couple tall girls. and then some short people in front of them. So I was like, ooh, you know what? That's a perfect spot for me. So I stood right there, right in front of them. And I was like, oh my God, is it cool if I stand here? Literally, some tall dude stood right in front of me and I could not see nothing. They're like, yeah, that's fine. So, everything, that's all you have to do, you guys, just have etiquette, especially like when you're going through the crowd. Those two girls, they're kind of just like shoving their way through. But like I was, like, hi, like, making eye contact. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. I'm just trying to get through. Excuse me. Hi, I'm so sorry. 9 out of 10 people will be like, oh, cool, that's fine. There will be one person that'll just like roll their eyes and be like, whatever. But that's the person who's also just trying to like not get a bad view either. But there's other ways of going about it. But yeah, just be nice when you're going through the crowd and literally look for a spot where there is somebody who is taller than you and somebody who is shorter than you, and try to get in the middle of them, because that is your best opportunity, because all three of you guys are going to be able to see the concert just fine. The tall person's going to be able to see over you. You're going to be able to see over the short person. And then, God forbid, hopefully the short person's not standing behind the tall person. Maybe they could get on the shoulders of somebody. But yeah, that was like, and it was literally one of the best spots. The videos that I got were so good. Like when I went to go see, this is only like my second, I've been to a bunch of raves and EDM festivals, but I've never been to that many concerts. This is literally my second concert I would consider going to. The first one I went to was just like a few months ago. I went and saw Big Time Rush, and that where I was seated kind of like far. I couldn't really see their faces unless it was up on the big screen or if I zoomed in with my camera. There was a time where they ran through the crowd, and that's when I saw their faces up close just for like 2 seconds, and I was like, ah! But right here where I was standing in the ballroom, literally like, and I have bad eyesight, you guys, so it was such a good spot. I can see her with my own eyes. I can still physically remember what she looks like in person in my head, which is so cool. Oh my God, I'm about to cry again. But yeah, it was just super cool. It was such a good spot. I'm gonna this is gonna be the one episode where the clip art's not gonna be my usual Crypt thingy. That's gonna be like, I'm gonna find like the best picture and stuff. But yeah, she came out and it was a wrap from there, mama. So her set list was really, really cool. This is her set list. She did her album Ego Death at a Bachelorette party, but it wasn't in the order of her album. She and which is kind of like the way she ordered her album, like it's beautiful, like it works so good, but also the way she reordered it into her set list, it's also so effing good. Like it was just so good. I think it was so magical. She started off with Mirtazapine, and then Showbiz, and then Disappearing Man, and then Sizu. That one was so cool. She had some sort of like instrument that she kept like little like, I don't even know what it's called, but she had some sort of instrument that she was like hitting on her throat to make it go ooh 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 ooh. But yeah, and it sounded so good. It sounded so cool. She was playing all of the instruments. She was playing her guitar. She was playing the piano. She's so talented. Okay, so next she did Ice in My OJ. That one was so good. Oh my God. She always says, and I'm quoting her, so she always says "fuck ice" in the middle at the beginning of that song, and it's just like, it's always just so cool. And she means it. She means it when she says it. She means it. Okay. Next was Hard, Kill Me, Blood Bros, and then we had Ego Death at a Bachelorette party. And I believe it was like this song. Obviously, this is the song that inspired the name of the album, the name of the tour. And I want to believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was like some sort of little break in the song, because I think she was going to do some little like monologue. But like when I tell you, all of us in the crowd, like we gave her a mid concert fucking like 2-minute at least standing ovation. Like I remember just jumping with the fucking rock star sign, just going hoo 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 for literally just 2 minutes. The whole crowd was going buck wild, and she was just like standing there soaking it all in, taking it all in. And then it made her like it reminded her of Wayne's World. And then she was going on about like sometimes it's just good to sit there and take the compliment. And then so that's what she was doing. And then like after that giant mid-concert, just, applause, and went right back into the rest of the song, and that made me realize, I was like, fuck, she wasn't even done with the song, like, that's, but, like, the energy, just everybody was, I think that was the point where everyone was, like, super excited, Yeah, to see her. Okay. So, next was the song Whim. And then, why am I crying? Okay, after Whim, the next song was the song Glum. And like this song always kind of like hit me on the album, like listening to it, but it never made me cry. But I do like struggle with like feeling, you know, not a part of stuff, lonely or whatever. And it was crazy. This was like, I feel like this was why I cried, but during this song, I really heard the lyrics, and she had this little like speech beforehand to kind of like segue into the song about like how she struggles with feeling alone a lot, and what always helps her feel better is going to like a concert and just singing with a group of people, and that always just like cathartic for her, and almost I guess for anybody who has ever done that. So going like you know, hearing that, going into that, I was I was like screaming the lyrics at the top of my lungs and just tears rolling down my face for like almost no reason, but like it was because even though I went to the concert alone, even though I was in a crowd full of thousands of people who I did not know, I had never felt less alone, like almost in years, than like during that song, you know? And it was just a really cool experience, yeah. Híjole, pinche chiona. Okay. Next is Negative Self-Talk. And then she did True Believer. And then she did a cover by Nina Simone called Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. When she started singing this one, I was like, ooh, I don't know this one, but I'm down. I like it. I vibe. Okay. And then Brotherly Hate, Love Me Different, Dream Girl and Shibuya, Good Old Days. And then her last 3 songs, she did her cover of Discovery Channel, which was always like one of my favorites from the album for like almost no reason. I Won't Quit on You. And then the best song, I think, that everybody bought tickets to go scream at the top of their lungs with her was Parachute. I'm so glad she ended the set with that specific song, because like, yeah, she's amazing. One of my favorite things that she did, which like so punk, so cool, and it makes so much sense to do it live. But she had like a, what is it called? One of those like megaphones, yeah. One of the megaphones for like the parts of the songs where it sounds like she's screaming really loud, because she is screaming really loud. But to make her voice kind of like distorted in that way, she had a megaphone hooked up to a microphone, and she would like yell a lot of the parts into the megaphone for that extra sound. And that was like, oh, she's such a badass, you guys. Like, when I'm telling you, if you ever get the chance, if you're a fan of her, and if you ever get the chance to go to see her, go to see her. When the tickets dropped, it dropped like last year, and I was like debating. I was like, oh my god, like I'm down, but I don't know like if I'm gonna be in a show, this or that. And then the tickets sold out almost immediately, and I was like, well, I guess I won't see it. And then literally randomly, like another tier dropped just a couple months ago, and then I was like, oh, yeah, no. And then I knew my schedule more so, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is literally right when Macbeth is gonna be over. Hell yeah, I'm gonna go. I did not have the money, y'all. I did not have the money, and you know what? I just put it on a credit card and deal with that later, and it was totally worth it. It's totally worth it. I dealt with it already, like I paid it off by now, but it was literally so worth it. I've never felt so gratified by a decision I had made in my life than to go see this concert. Like, still, even now. I mean, you guys just heard me, excuse me, you guys just effing heard me cry. And yeah, this was just such a magical, cool, you could not put a price on that. I mean, obviously they did put a price on that, but like, I would do it so many times. Her set was really, really cool. She had like, white curtains like everywhere, so then the projectors can go off. So like during a lot of her songs, she had projections of herself. It would be black and white, and the only thing that had color would be like her yellow hair. It was just really, really well done. There was like projections of like her from older eras while she was singing. There was during one of the songs, it literally, the projections looked like she was underwater for it while she was playing the piano. It was just so beautiful. I'm gonna make a compilation video of like some of my favorite moments and put it up for you guys on my Instagram. So make sure to go follow me there at She's in the Crypt, and you guys can go see her effing rocking out night one. So cool, literally so cool. Yeah. I guess my last little tidbit before we get into the next section about the concert was this is kind of like, this will be like the hot topic discussion of today's episode. So, how do y'all feel about pirated merch? So by pirated merch, I mean like the merch that people, the scalpers and stuff sell outside of the stadium. Because like, I mean, obviously all of us want some sort of keepsake from an experience like that night, but like the shirts were like $45 and like the ticket itself was already like, okay, the one I got was already like over $200 plus the fees and shiznit. So yeah, like, you know, but I really wanted a shirt, and the people outside, they were selling not the same shirts, but they had like their own versions of, like, she had specialized shirts inside of her venue that you basically probably could only buy inside. But there was also shirts of like her tour dates and stuff that the people outside were selling, and they were selling at $10 a shirt. That's my kind of price. And it's like supporting a local business. How do you guys feel? So like an instance, like, you know, I'm still going to get like one of her main shirts from her website, but I just couldn't get it that day. And like the feeling of that magical moment, I really just wanted something to take home besides the memories. And I was like, I had the 20 in my pocket, and I was like, yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. So how do you guys feel about that? Let's sound off in the comments below. Let's have a conversation. Are you for it? Are you against it? What's the pros? What's the cons? Let me know. All right, you guys, that was the segment. We're going to get into the next section. Today's episode is going to be a little different from what we usually do, but I think it's still all in the realm of what I do best, and it is gay, spooky stuff, okay? So, since this is a punk episode, I learned in theater history class that like punk used to be used as a derogatory word kind of to describe gay people, which I kind of vibe with. Not in the derogatory way, but I love that word. With that being said, we're going to be slashing or smashing my favorite gay things on earth, which are drag queens. It's going to be the new cast of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 11, because this... Oh my God. If there's anything I love more than horror movies, I wouldn't even say more. If there's anything I love as equally as much as horror movies, it is RuPaul's Drag Race. Shout out to the podcast Diva Alert. If any of you guys want to go listen on some recaps, some hot gossip, and some spicy tea, go tune into Diva Alert at UIC Radio on the YouTube channel. Go follow her on Instagram and stuff. But she covered the whole entire... She was just on she was just on the last episode, actually. Vanessa Kaufman, she covered the whole entire season 18 of RuPaul's Drag Race basically on her podcast, and she had like special interviews with every queen from the show too that she was somehow magically able to swoop in and get. And go tune into her Instagram, her podcast, if you guys want everything all up to date on season 18. But right now, for Slash or Smash, we're gonna just quickly dive into All Stars Season 11 because I'm so excited. Okay. Probably like broke the audio with that. All right, first up, we have Akira C. Davenport. All right, so let's okay, so this isn't going to be slash because I love majority of these queens. I'm going to slash if I think they're going to make it past their bracket, and I'm going to I'm going to smash if I think they're going to make it past their bracket because they're doing the bracket system again, if y'all are familiar with the show. And I'm going to slash if I don't think they're going to make it past their bracket. Yeah? Yeah? We're all on the same page? So again, smash, they're going to make it through their bracket. They're going to make it to that top 3. Oh, but I don't even know whose bracket's who. Well, I guess whatever. Still same thing. Smash if I think they're gonna just make it through or not. Yeah, to the top. Yeah? Yeah, period. I love all these queens. So, Akira C. Davenport. I don't know if she will make it past her bracket. So I will have to give Miss Akira a slash, even though this is a quote, ass almighty. That's a smash. April Carrion. I have personal high hopes for her. This is a Hispanic diva. I've seen her like 2 or 3 times in person when I used to live in California, at the drag clubs. And she's just an amazing performer. I think she is gonna make it through. She's gonna be a smash. Aura Mayari. I'm sorry, honey bunny. The cringe queen. I don't think you're gonna make it past your bracket. We're gonna have to slash you. Next up, Crystal Method. Yes, she is what Drag Race loves to put on television. Unconventional, kooky, out-of-the-box stuff. She's definitely going to make it in her bracket. That's going to be a smash. Hershey Liqueur Jeté. So she was the one that went home first in her season. She was the pork chop of her season. And I think this was the season when they were doing the It's Chocolate. I don't remember the number, though, but I believe this was the It's Chocolate. But she went home first. And I love to see a comeback queen like Irene the Alien. She went home first in her season, and she made it past her bracket. You know what? So with that being said, I'm going to give her the same benefit of the doubt. I think we're going to go with smash. And let's hope Hershey Liqueur Jeté gets past her bracket, because I think the girls who went home first aren't always deserving of going home first and always have so much more to show. Next up, Jasmine Kennedy. Okay, low-key, you guys, I'm kind of Jasmine team I have a couple teams, but I am team Jasmine Kennedy for sure. She was my favorite person on her season. You have your moments, because you're not gonna have many more. Or this is your moment, have it. That's what it is. We're gonna smash Jasmine Kennedy. Joey J. Okay, Joey J is honestly, I think, going to be the funniest person and the narrator of her bracket. And with that being said, I think she's also going to make it in her bracket. We're going to smash. Kennedy Davenport. Yep. This is a solid queen. Yes. If Ginger made it, Kennedy's going to make it, okay? Kennedy can sing. Kennedy's funny. Kennedy can dance. And Kennedy can act, too. Like, that's literally a quadruple. And Kennedy can sew. So, crown it. I would be super down for Kennedy to finally get her crown, honestly. Smash. Lucky Stars. I think Lucky Stars is there for the kookiness, and I don't think it's the same kookiness as Crystal Method. But I have high hopes for her. But I don't think she will make it past her bracket. So we are going to slash Lucky Stars. I think she's gonna be one of those queens, and she already done had hers. Next up, Dawn. Dawn didn't win anything her season. So if Dawn doesn't win the first episode in her bracket, I think it's going to be the same. I think she'll be like the funnier Jan, just always safe. And with that being said, slash. I don't think she's going to make it past her bracket. But I'd love to be proved wrong. Dawn's freaking hilarious. She's like low-key so shady and the biggest crap talker. Morphine Love Dion. She's definitely going to make it past her bracket. She is like also one of the biggest talking heads of the season. She's going to be the talking head of her bracket. Smash all the way. She's going to make it for sure. Morgan McMichaels. Morgan McMichaels is a phenomenal queen, but I'm going to say slash because nobody likes her upfrontness. And I honestly really respect it, and I'm very much kind of the same way. I am very kind of like, I kind of speak before I think sometimes, which kind of bites me in the ass, but a lot of people respect it at the same time, and if you don't respect it, it's not for you to respect. But yeah, we're just very truthful and upfront, sometimes to our disadvantage. But with that being said, I don't think she's going to make it past her bracket because of that. So I'm going to slash. All right, next up, Mystique Summers. I'm so excited to see her. Oh my God, Morgan McMichaels and Mystique Summers are for sure in the same bracket. And you guys remember, this is the fight that like made Untucked what Untucked is. The first episode of their season, this is a quote. She said, "Bitch, I am from Chicago. I will whip your ass." Mystique Summers said that to Morgan McMichaels, and they were literally about to fist fight in the Untucks. But I'm pretty sure they're all good in the hood now. That was literally 13, 15, 16, 20 years ago almost at this point. But Mystique Summers is back. And I think she's going to make it past her bracket because she's lost a lot of weight. She looks like a completely different person. And RuPaul is such like a fan of that kind of stuff. He loves that kind of stuff. RuPaul loves, like, when that was one of the main things I feel like why Ginger won, because Ginger lost half of her body weight, and he's just super fascinated with stories like that. So smash. Selena Estides. Smash. She's so funny. I'm smashing because I'm hopeful that she's going to get past her bracket. Will she? I don't know. I think she could do a good social game, though, because this one is very social. The girls give each other points. But yeah, I'm going to go with smash for Selena Estides. And it's another Hispanic queen. Hispanic divas all the way. Next up, Sam Starr. Bless your heart. Disease. She's a phenomenal queen. I don't think she's gonna make it past the bracket though, unless she's gonna be one of those girls where she has to win all the challenges to make it past the bracket, because I don't think the girls are gonna give her a star because of how polished she is. So with that being said, I think Slash. I don't think she's gonna make it past her bracket. Next up, Sugarcane. Sugarcane is a phenomenal queen, one of the older queens. I love me an older queen. But she's very chilled, laid back. She's a dad. She's already been through it. She don't got time for none of that. But with that being said, I don't think she's going to make it past her bracket. Because, yeah, she's never been like a big personality. She's always been one to be like, oh, you know, all these girls have big personalities. But yeah, I think that's going to probably be her detriment, is thinking that other girls are larger than her in persona-wise. And so I don't think she's going to make it past her bracket for that, but I'm going to love seeing her on TV. Next up, Silky Nutmeg Ganache, the Reverend Doctor herself. This is a smash. Silky's also one of those things. I think she's going to be, hopefully the winner. Silk is one of the personalities. I don't think they'll ever let her win, just so they could keep using her on the show. But she's already been on so many different versions of it. I think this is going to be like her 4th or 5th time on the show. And I think this might be the time to crown it as well. I see her in the top, like not only just like making it past her bracket, but like in the top. Smash. And last but not least, Mother has arrived. Vivacious and Ornacia. You know what? I'm team Ornacia all the way. I think Ornacia is going to get the crown on all of the... I don't even think they're going to crown Vivacious. I think Ornacia is going to be emancipated in the middle of the season from Vivacious, become some AI like sex doll robot, and she's going to start competing all on her own. She's going to be the 7th contestant in their bracket, and she's going to take home the crown. Smash for Vivacious. Alrighty, you guys, that was Slash or Smash. That was kind of a fun one. That was different. That wasn't spooky, but it was cute. And like I said, remember, this is a little theater history lesson for you guys. In the for a queer history, actually, punk was a derogatory word to describe somebody who liked the same gender as themselves. Which I personally, I don't love the derogatory part and, you know, our community being like abused all these years, but I love reclaiming words. Yeah, so punk is definitely into my inventory now. All right, everybody, that was Slash or Smash. So we have almost dug a hole big enough to fit this topic into. But before we go, this is part of the show where we answer chilling inquiries from our Crypt Keepers. Today's question is to the ghoul. Yo, so like, this is my first time writing in. I've got a situation that I genuinely never thought I'd be writing in about, but here we are. So, there is a series of events that I absolutely cannot explain without sounding like I needed to be gently escorted off the internet. I've been invited to a live concert in the underworld. Not like a goth basement show, I mean the underworld. Mist, echoing caverns, ominous vibes, the whole aesthetic. I'm told the headliner is Jack Black, which is obviously a huge draw. But I have so many logistical questions. First of all, the commute. How the hell do I get to hell? Second, dress code. Is this like a black is the new black situation, or would a pop of color be seen as disrespectful to the eternally damned? I don't want to show up in something like breathably and accidentally signal that I'm not committed to the whole ageless despair vibe. Also, audience etiquette. Is it okay to make eye contact with someone who's been there since God only knows when? Ooh, should I even bring that name up? Are we chatting between sets, or is it more of a stare silently into the void kind of crowd? And what's the policy on encores? Because I've heard time works differently down there, but I do have work tomorrow. Finally, safety. Not to be dramatic, but what's my exit strategy if I enjoy the music a little too much and suddenly I'm contractually obligated to stay there forever? Do they stamp your hand on the way in? Is there a coat check, or do you just shed your mortal possessions at the door and hope for the best? Ghoulish regards, baby's first rodeo. Cool. All right, so first things first, the easiest way to get to hell is do a crime and then die right afterwards, and then there you go. But that doesn't allow you to come back. So scratch that. Don't do that. A way to get there, I believe. You have to find like a witch, like the grandma from Halloween Town, and that bus. That bus can like transport you to Halloween Town. I bet you can find some same sort of like Greyhound or Black Hound, probably it would be because it's so ominous and dark. To get yourself to hell. Yeah. I've been there. It's lovely. I have a timeshare there, actually. So if you need a place to stay, I can rent it to you pretty cheap. Also, so next one, we're going to get into the dress code. Not to give away spoilers, but I think the more fabulous, the better. I would definitely suggest having like flame retardant like clothing nearby and like as an option. There's a lot of flames down there. You don't want to catch on fire because then you might accidentally die and stay down there. But you do want to have something breathable but fancy. Everyone down there does flex, I'm not gonna lie. They got the jewels, they got the gems, they got the goose, and they got the gander. So what was your next question? Audience etiquette. Do you make eye contact with somebody who's been there? Don't talk to anybody unless they talk to you. And don't answer any questions. I always love answering a question with a question. So if someone's like, hey, you look kind of strange, where are you from? Then you would be like, where am I from? Just turn the tables. And then they'll be like, wait, what? And then they'll probably think that you just died and you just got there, and they're like, "Ooh, I don't want to break that to you," and then they'll go away, So yeah, I would just suggest keeping it short and sweet. Definitely dance with people. They love to dance. Everybody down there, the spooky demons, they get down. I have never seen anybody burn up a dance floor than the demons in hell. Okay. And the policy on encores. So I don't think that you'll have to worry about encores. Jack Black is a booked and busy man. He has, I'm sure, many places to go after this concert. And as an exit strategy, I think that's your exit strategy, my boy. Are you a boy? My them? I don't know. You didn't specify. I think that's your exit strategy. I think you need to be Jack Black's biggest groupie. So where something that you think he would appeal to, and then just hitch a ride back with him to the, to our realm, because Yeah, unless you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, it is very hard to get out of there. That's why I usually tend to just keep traveling to Purgatory. They got a cute little bar there. And I never really crossed the realm into hell that often, but I did have business there once, and it was a lovely time. But my, business partner was the one that helped me get out. So with that being said, you do need to find somebody to help you get out. Who that person is, that is up to you, baby. But thank you so much for writing in. I hope this helps. I'd like to thank everybody for listening to me and my multiple personality disorder. I would like to not apologize for my feelings. I love feelings. You're welcome, actually, for getting to hear me cry, and getting to hear something that I love so much and something I didn't even know I felt so passionately about. Yeah. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, you guys, at She's in the Crypt, so you can see everything that I'm up to on there. I'd like to thank UIC Radio for publishing this podcast, but most importantly, I'd like to thank you, the Crypt Keepers. Thank you for digging this grave with me, but unfortunately, the graveyard is closed. So until next time, we'll leave this episode in the crypt. Farewell, and bad dreams. Make sure to follow the podcast on Instagram at She's in the Crypt for updates about upcoming shows and guests. Follow UIC Radio at UIC Radio on Insta and subscribe to the UIC Radio YouTube channel so you won't miss a single episode every Friday. You can also check out the other shows on the network too. This podcast was created, written, and edited by Niomi Dylan Sass. Hey! And published by UIC Radio. Music by Arthur Benson, The Friendly Ghost, and sound effects from epidemicsounds.com. If you can't get enough of She's in the Crypt, you can check out my weekly blog every Saturday morning on the website uicradio.net and find me in the blog section. Bye!